Hi everyone, Cecile here. Oh man, it's been a while. It's been a while, everybody. I know I've been kind of MIA with the Transformation Tuesdays. It's been really, really busy and hectic. But I can't complain because it's all for great reasons and for a great purpose. So I made a conscious decision to lay low on this platform in to practice what I preach, self-care, and really trying to just focus my energy on where it needed to be. So that's why I've been MIA. I hope you guys have been doing well. Hi, thanks for watching, Cameron. I just wanted to hop on here today to quickly talk about fearlessness. And this was inspired by a session that I had with, somebody I've been working with for a little bit now, just working on some of her traumas and self-esteem and breaking relational patterns and so forth. And something really great, is happening to her and inside of her. And as life would have it, it usually comes after a traumatic or really painful event, right? Like as much as it sucks to experience painful events, it also sometimes can be that push that you finally need to get you to feel more aligned and to make choices in your life that is going to serve your best interest, right? So what happened here is, she's had a lot of kind of painful abusive relationships, but really the worst, one of her worst experiences is losing her father, which happened very recently, and we've been preparing for that, right? Like we knew it was coming, but it was still very painful and traumatic, especially the way that it all transpired. So, we've been really working on just helping her kind of not lose hope and still, kind of attend to the things that she needs to attend to, even though her heart was literally crushed into pieces. And fast forward to kind of all the epiphanies that this person has been having. Basically, after this event, she made some really big, radical, but amazing choices in her life. She decided that she, was going to quit her job. That was really a major depressant, right? It really just like sucked the good life out of her. This was even before, the dad stuff. And she finally got honest about that, right? And had the courage to say no more. I am not doing this anymore. Life is short. How do I know that my time is not next week or next month, right? And although that seems kind of like a far-fetched thing to happen to us, the point here is her dad's death gave her a sense of urgency that she never had before. And that sense of urgency she channeled into finally making these choices that were so scary to make, but that deep down inside she knew were the choices that she needed to make, right? Quit her job without a backup job, okay? And of course, I'm not just going to tell people, go ahead and do that, right? Of course, we talk about the practical aspects of that. What would that look like? Let's crunch the numbers, helping people make informed, responsible choices around that, right? And she decided to do that. She started setting boundaries, healthier boundaries with people. She used to just say yes to everything and put herself last. She started to apply some of those skills that we've been working on in therapy, and, just starting to really pour back into her, okay? Because this person is also in the helping profession. So, what typically happens is you give so much of yourself and your time and your energy to others, and you end up neglecting your own needs, right? So she's having a lot more balance in her life and just asserting herself more, saying ouch when something hurts. I help people say the adult version of ouch. right? Like, it's okay to do that. And there's a way to do that with grace and respect and love. So she's learning how to do that. But the big aha moment really is, you know, as we were processing this, I had said to her, I said, wow, you know, your dad's death is giving you a new lease on life, right? That dark moment is actually also now becoming a light in her life. You know, she didn't let, or she's not letting the darkness of her father's death become her darkness, right? She channeled that so that it can be a beacon of light. And the irony is, she now can afford to be fearless. Literally, financially, because she was able to get some inheritance money from her dad's passing, right? Which of course was not anything that this person was hoping from that, right? But that was one of the things that had the consequence, you know, from her dad's death. And now because of that, she now is finally able to take bigger risks in her life. And the other irony to this is that this was always what her dad wanted for her, right? In the years, you know, of their relationship, this was one of the areas of conflict that they had, is that, you know, he wanted her to kind of be happier. He wanted her to, you know, be true to herself and do things that would serve her larger purpose, right? And that was kind of some of their dynamic. And the irony is, in his death, now she's able to do that, and also now can afford to be fearless. Okay? So I want to circle back to that statement, because I can relate to that when I was starting to make some moves in my life. And it really is. There is a balance that you must strike when you're trying to manifest and create the life that you want, especially if you don't come from money and you don't have a whole lot of resources. It is really, really hard and definitely risky to be fearless, to be true to yourself. And oftentimes we get stuck in situations and jobs that we're not happy with because we're too scared, right, to let go of a certain lifestyle, of a certain status, whatever it is, right? It's just a counterculture thing to do. I remember when I quit my first huge corporate job, the best money I ever made. And I had stocks, I was vested, I was getting promoted, I mean, I was liked, and I could see myself climbing up the ladder, you know? But in my heart of hearts, I just knew that that wasn't it. And it was really scary to let go of that because, you know, on paper, it had everything I wanted, right? And the security and the stability. And it was counterculture. It was counterculture. You just don't really do that, you know? And I remember thinking, wow, why would I want to do something like that and step into the unknown and take this chance and start all over again just to be true to myself, right? Like, I could make it work over here. But that statement came to me of like, oh, because I can afford to be fearless, meaning I don't have any responsibilities. You know, I wasn't married at the time. I didn't have a child. I had a mortgage, but like it was doable, right? Like I really was like, that is the luxury of a sense of financial stability and financial freedom. It's not so much because of the money, because it does sometimes afford us a certain level of autonomy and freedom and courage, right? And I'm not saying that's all you need in order to take a leap and you know, kind of do the things you need to do to get aligned, but it really is an important component, you know. So that statement came full circle in my work with this person when I said, wow, you can finally really afford to be fearless. And she just paused and she's like, oh my God, yes, I can, and it was just such an awesome moment, because she got it. She got that she has this absolutely incredible opportunity to now re-engineer her life, that she really is not stuck, and that how much of this is really the gift of her dad's death, right? This is how she's making sense of this. And to now follow through, right? Even though she's terrified and she has some self-doubts, right? But that's what courage is. That's what courage is. It's not about not having the fear. It's about having the fear and doing it anyway, and having a plan. Okay? It's about having the fear and doing it anyway and having a plan. So, I share that with you today. If you're struggling, if you're in a situation you're not happy about, if you're, you have this nagging voice telling you need to be doing something else, or you need to be in a different kind of a situation or relationship, whatever it is, if the big thing that's holding you back is fear, then there's hope, right? Because you can work with the fear. You can work with the fear, and you don't have to get rid of the fear 100% in order to take steps. The fear can be there, right? It's what you do with it, and it's how you move through it. And as far as financial resources, you can afford to be fearless if you have a plan, if you're willing to tighten your belt, right, in other ways. So, that's what we worked on in this situation with this person is, okay, what can we do about this, and what about this bill, and how can we consolidate that, and and how can we kind of lower your expenses over here, right? Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but just practical pieces of that we can talk about in therapy, right? And that's what I had to do too in my life, is I had to look at, okay, if I'm gonna make this sacrifice, right, in the spirit of feeling aligned and trusting that path, then how bad do I want it? And what am I willing to sacrifice for it? And so that meant I had to sacrifice certain things, right? But it was all worth it, because the more you kind of follow that, the more you trust that calling, somehow the more support you get. It's like a validation that you're on track. So don't ignore that voice. If it sounds like your wise self, if it feels like your higher purpose, trust it. Start to listen to it. Have a plan so that you can afford to be fearless. Okay? Because if you trust that and you become that, there is nothing like it. It's a really beautiful feeling, and a beautiful space to be living your life from. Okay? And so don't worry about the how so much. Just start with the first step. So if that's a plan, just start to write it down. Work with it with somebody you trust. Okay? And look at the ways that you can start to compromise or maybe give up certain things in honor of that big, larger purpose and that goal. So hopefully this story inspires you. I really just wanted to share it with you all today because it was a moment that really moved me, and I know it really moved her, and I hope that you gain something from it. And just keep working on it if you're still kind of figuring this stuff out for yourself. Just do not ignore the voice, and just keep sitting with that, and keep entertaining the idea of living that kind of life for yourself. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for listening. I missed you all, and I'm gonna try to be more regular here again, but I'm only one person, right? And I also sometimes have to take care of myself. So thank you for your support, and please, any thoughts, any suggestions, any comments. This is our group, and so, please feel free to post and take charge and share information and resources. Okay, thank you guys. Bye for now. Be well, be gentle, get mental, because we all have issues.